The poem Ozymandias is a Romantic-era poem by Percy Bysshe Shelley. It was the result of a challenge to write something about the titular Ozymandias. The title is from a Greek translation of Ramses II, who led one of the last high water marks of Egyptian empire before the Bronze Age collapse. This poem is classic, which is why I like it. Modern poetry reads like journaling. This is fine, if that's what you expect. It's often like diving into someone's need for therapy. While I find poetry by poets like Shapiro interesting, I also come away feeling like she is some kind of manic pixie nightmare girl, and I simply don't enjoy it. Instead, Shelley's poem is about a weighty subject. I don't know what happened to poetry. Maybe popular music took up a lot of its audience, but it seems to have been something more in the past. I also have a passing interest in history, so this fits more in with that. The poem reminds me of the passing of time, of the vanity of egomaniacs and narcissists who happen to gravitate and even create positions of power. I have always admired the author's anarchism as well as his taste in women. Maybe Byron had the same tastes in ways that were inconvenient for Percy, but people will remember Ada Lovelace a lot longer than her deadbeat dad. The poem breaks from the narrator, who then sits back while someone else tells him of old things and communicates the relentless march of time. The rhyme scheme is absent in terms of each line following an end rhyme. The poem is actually iambic pentameter, like most older English works. Some of the lines have rhyme, some don't. There is even a bit of a turn in the poem when the inscription is being described. So it has a little elements of this or that English poetical forms. And it is short. There are 4 syllables along with how the author would have said the title. He uses enjambment. He capitalizes rec at the end. It is capitalized like the works of the mighty, showing the equality of all in oblivion. Half sunk a shattered visage is a piece of alliteration. This is used throughout in some places, a couple words at a time. The name of the poem is another name for Ramses, and while it depicts a level of desolation that time did not manage to do to this king's reputation, it depicts it in general. There is a contrast between the sculptor, who made the statue buried in sand, and the heart that fed, and won the pedestal, figuratively and literally an oppressive ruler who was forced to be deified by his workers. The Romantics had their day. They all festered out, changing culture in what ways they could. But their DNA was passed to the current forms everyone enjoys. I think this poem is like a bridge between what came before and came after.